be a working entertainer in a town right now where a lot of people aren't working. I am truly blessed to be a working entertainer where I'm not even the ideal face, quote unquote, of a Vegas entertainer. I'm truly blessed. So anytime you're doing whatever your job is, entertainment, doctor, lawyer, teacher, and you're getting paid for doing what you love, the paid is the bonus, because at the point you're doing what you love. I've had enough jobs doing that I didn't like, but to actually love what I do, the money is the bonus. And actually, I'm not even making any money right now. I would say I'm a starving entertainer at this point. But there are sacrifices. So it's feast or famine in this business. So if you don't love it, you ain't going to make it. I mean, you have all kind of people in entertainment, but as far as those who are quote unquote wanted or hired more, don't usually look like me, especially in a city like Las Vegas. So I am non-traditional in that sense. I kind of sing differently. I approach music differently. I approach working in a lounge differently. I don't believe it's just about this pop music and just make people dance. It's like you're a DJ. I believe in telling a story, no matter if I'm performing at a lounge or performing in a concert hall. It's all about the story. So I think I'm non-traditional in that aspect. Although there are a lot of people like me, they just might not be being heard. What I keep telling myself is that you have to be you. I mean, I tell myself that, or I have to remind myself that. But I can say when I moved to Las Vegas 7-8 years ago, there was not one person that I could actually look at on a billboard and say, oh, I'll be able to be on a billboard one day. Because there was no one that looked like me. I think you might have had George Wallace and Clinton Holmes, but they're still men. They were men and they were older men. But as far as being a woman, being a black woman, I didn't have any roadmap. But coming from a dad who always told me I was okay just the way I was, he basically told me if I had been born any other way, I wouldn't have tried all the things that I tried, like being a cheerleader and tried modeling. I never really believed anything was wrong. Other people might have said it, but I didn't really when you grow up in a small town in the country, everybody's a little chunky, so you just go with it. So you're actually the norm. You're not the abnorm, so, it would be, it's not even just a weight thing, but I would tell anybody the thing that we're alike is that we're all different. That's the one thing we have in common, that we are all different. And that you have to take your difference, and people can make it work against you, but you have to make it work for you. I could easily sit and say, oh, let me lose 75, 80 pounds. Then I may need to do that for my health, but I don't need to do it to try to fit in, because then I become like the other people. And then we all just, look alike, and so you make your difference be the thing that people admire, whether it's Cindy Crawford's mole on her face or, Beyonce's trademark hair or whatever it is. I mean, there's literally 10 people making a decision for the entire world to say what is beauty, what is talent. I have learned that most of them don't know what they're talking about. And if someone decided to say 4'11" and 200 pounds is the new in thing, and they market it that way, then everybody would start eating at McDonald's every day, and the gyms would be broke. But because there was a time in culture where being plus size was a sign of wealth. You look at the European pictures and women had curves. So somewhere it just twisted and turned. So for anybody that feels like they can't because of the way they look or sound or talk, whatever, it may be a factor, but it's not an excuse. So do I still deal with it? Do I still have days I'm like, oh, is it because of this and that? Of course I do. But I'm thankful for my dad, who just always made me feel like I was, normal. And to all the, grandparents that cooked fried food all the time. Everybody looked the same. So really it might be the people who don't look like us that are the problem, but neither here nor there. You have to find the belief in yourself. And it doesn't mean that you don't have self-doubt. It doesn't mean that I don't have insecurities. I don't like my arms out all the time. So I wear shrugs. So you find things to accentuate your best features, your best attributes. I'm not about, I think it was Cher or somebody, or Madonna said she's not the best singer, but she knew she was the best performer at what she did. So when you know what you are and you know what you're striving to be, then you can accept the non-traditional that somebody else is calling you, because you're really not non-traditional. You're just you. And somebody else is putting that label on you. I actually did do a vision board when I first moved to Vegas. And I had my business card, and I took every hotel and I cut out the name of it, and I put it on each card, and I put it around the mirror. I did a vision board on a mirror like the one you had for me to apply my lipstick that's not really on. But, and I didn't remember that until I went to look for it a couple months ago and realized I left it at my old place. And I'm like, wow, I performed at pretty much maybe 10 or 12 of those in some different aspect. I did pack up and come to Vegas. I did have a choice to apply for a probation officer because I have a degree in criminal justice, or go to Vegas and audition for some shows. And I struggled. I was in a car in the grocery store parking lot. I remember it. And I said, okay, well, I can go to Vegas, then I'll come back and take the test, and then I'll go back to Vegas. And then I said, and I struggled, and I went back like, well, that doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. You know what? I can be a probation officer anytime. I've already done my 15 years experience in that. I'm just going to go to Vegas. And I came out, and there was a list of auditions. I went to the first one, and I got it, and then it kind of just propelled from that. And I walked away from a lot. You have to make a decision. You have to make choices. And I think that's the hardest thing in making it, is that your choices and decisions will decide in how that route's going to be. And you don't get to pick all the things that's going to come with it. So leaving California financially was the worst thing I could have done. And only doing music was financially probably the worst thing I could have ever done. But I learned a lot business, and I learned a lot of things that I won't repeat when I'm at a different status again, whatever, financially or socially or whatever. So you can have a plan, but you should plan on that plan not working. Because it's not going to work the way. Plans are good to have a foundation, but you definitely have to be flexible in life to know, okay, I didn't expect this to happen. Or even when I was going to leave my job at menopause, the musical at the time, I wasn't going to leave it. I had like another 6 month to a year plan, but they had a different plan. To people who come to Vegas, or people to go anywhere and see live performers, to them, we're as big as people as Beyonce and all of those people. To them, you're a star. They don't know the ins and outs. They don't know. To them, they're like, they want you to be bigger, but they already respect the fact that, wow. So once I get off stage, they usually think I'm not going to be approachable, or so it's very lonely. Let's just say that. It's hard because you're a woman in power. You're a woman in position, and you're a woman who takes ownership of her own person. But the funny thing is, as big as my personality is, as controlling as, people say women are that are in position or power, I'm very much a girly girl. I just haven't found that guy who'll let me lay my head on his shoulder. So we're left to take care of ourselves, especially when we have a quote unquote position. It's like, oh, she's strong enough for this, but I'm not able to be vulnerable enough for that. So because I have a criminal justice degree, I witnessed that as far as women being left to basically take care of themselves. And because I did have I did have a boyfriend who was incarcerated. I didn't meet him in prison. Let's just say that. He went to prison. But I remember having that feeling one time when there was like 300 girls in line for the males, and then there was like nobody really, maybe 2 men. So it's the same. It's really about women not being taken care of. This is a hard business. Probably one of the toughest businesses ever. You can't be a Christian and sing at the nightclub. It's a very hard one. So in answer to that, I would love to have a relationship. Hopefully that's coming soon. Touring, hope to go out the country. I want to put a CD together. I want to win a Grammy in blues and rock, and I want to get out of debt, and I want to have a house where I can bring my mom out and she can cook for me and clean for me and love on me, because that's what my mama does. I'm Skye Dee Miles, and that's my chapter and verse.